Da 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 da. Sweaty plebs.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad, not
Yeah.
bad.
You can do our intro. We ever come up with a drop?
Yeah. Okay, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Everybody who is listening to the podcast, welcome. Everybody who's watching the podcast, you're also welcome. If you're not,
Oh.
then you're not welcome. So,
But you're still welcome.
yeah, you're still welcome to join us at any time.
Yeah, you just have to listen to the intro.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back. It is the middle of July, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you nailed it.
We got a big week coming up. But before we need to kick off the episode with Dylan's Beer Bonanza.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a classic
That's good.
today. Not a new one, so I don't need to know if it's good or bad because I already know it's great. Just, what I like to call a little something. A little something. Oh, it's a trick. It's actually called a little
Nice.
something. Lagunitas. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite beers.
Still good?
Yeah, it's great. I don't think I've actually had it in a can before.
I
But-
didn't know they made it in cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just not be remembering. It's great. It's classic.
Awesome.
What you got? Tell me what you guys got.
Aiden?
Yes, I was just trying to open it with one hand, and that was terrible. I have the Wibby Brewing
Oh, Wibby.
Light Shine Radler.
Nice.
Uh,
This is a good
It's a
can.
Colorado classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Wibby-
lager mixed with raspberry lemonade, so it's tight.
Mmm.
Good summer
What do
beer.
they call that? What
A
is that? It
Radler?
starts like an L or something. Oh, it's a Radler.
They say Radler on the can, so I just assume it is. I could be wrong.
Okay. I mean, I could be wrong too. There could also be multiple forms of it.
Is that a big brewery in Colorado?
Not a big one, but decently sized.
I feel like Dylan and I should go on a brewery tour in Colorado.
I've never
Older,
actually
there's
visited
like
my
20
brother
in the area.
Oh,
in Colorado.
what kind of
It's true.
brother are you?
Yeah. I'm an older brother. That's the kind of brother I am.
All right.
What you got, bud?
This week I have North Coast Brewing, Old Rasputin, Russian Imperial Stout, Never Say Die.
Yeah.
Another
I've had
big
that
bottle.
actually. Yeah. It's actually very tough. Also, shout out to Faulkner for being the first bottled beer on the podcast.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, not you specifically, but that is first bottle of beer. Yeah.
Ooh, 9%. I'm gonna be pretty
Yeah.
fucked up
Oh,
by the
man.
end of this, guys.
Yep.
We need to get a new scale on the side of your screen. Just
A red scale?
A thermometer. A red. How red does Faulkner's face get today?
Just a bar that changes like different shades of red.
Yeah. Maybe I'll order some paint chips.
All
I
right.
can just start holding them up. Anyways,
Perfect.
let's get to the what we're doing, or what I'm gonna call Dylan eats a lot of crow, because I've been playing Far Cry 5 after shitting on it all last week.
Yes.
There was that Ubisoft sale, and since you guys said Far Cry's not that bad, I was like, it's only like $8. Like, I spent $8 on dumb shit all the time. That's what it is this week, then totally fine with that. It's a bad game. It's still a bad game, but it's kind of a fun bad game. So I feel like it's like one of those movies where it's like, this movie fucking sucks, but like I enjoy the action of it.
Yeah, it's
So I
it's
now
a Fast
don't.
and Furious movie.
No, Fast and Furious is great. 10 out of 10. Would watch them all in like a day or two again. But I see where you're going. It's kind of just like that formulaic, like
Yeah.
just the same thing.
It's
It's
nothing
not
special.
interesting.
It's just fun.
Yeah. The only
Yep.
reason that I'm kind of enjoying it is because I skip every cutscene and just go around and like try to kill bears and shit.
Yeah.
The classic stuff.
Yeah, it's
But isn't it pretty at least?
It's very pretty. Yeah. Very pretty.
Yeah, I like the setting. It's fun to like be in Montana, virtual Montana.
Yeah.
Is that where it is? Is it
Story-wise,
Montana?
Far Cry ones are always, yeah,
Yeah.
they're always like kind of neat on the surface, and then they just don't give a shit about writing, so they don't turn out great.
Which is fine,
Yeah,
because you can catch up on podcasts or TV or...
Yeah. So I just always have something on in the background, and I'm just like watching it and then chilling, fucking driving around. I do have one complaint. I need to find like gas tankers and steal them. And every time I find one, I accidentally blow it up instead of stealing it. So I've been stuck on that mission for a while. I need to figure out how to not blow things up. Just kind of hard in that game.
Just don't blow it up.
Use a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
but where's the fun in that?
a bow and arrow is always fun.
I do actually really like the bow and arrow. I need to get extra weapon slots. That's another thing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Faulkner.
Time for Faulkner's big list.
Since everyone's playing like single player games, like long hour campaigns, I'm just kind of fucking around. So I've been playing Forager since it came free on GamePass, which is essentially like a Stardew Valley / Zelda-y type game. It's fantastic. It's again, I just put on an audiobook since I have an audiobook to read or listen to, and I just played. I played for like 6 hours straight one night till like 4:30 in the morning. It's great.
Yeah. I was looking forward to that movie when it was announced. It looked like a perfect Switch game. I'm just waiting for the Switch sale.
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't caught that.
But in the meantime, it's free on Game Pass.
But isn't it PC only right now?
No, it's on Xbox.
Okay.
It's
I'm
both.
going to give it a shot. Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
And then I think they're anticipating, the developer is planning on doing a multiplayer mode for it. Developing a multiplayer mode for it. So that might be interesting. It does have an interesting story. So the guy, he actually made like a little like comic strip in the game that tells you the story of like him and how he developed it and how Humble Bundle like essentially financed him and like the story that led up to it. It's pretty hits the feels a little bit. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. I feel like that was already enough spoilers.
Yeah, but it was kind of cool. But yeah, it's a fun game. The other game that so Xbox, they put out like free bundles or like this bonus stuff for games, right? So they did one for Smite. They had like this starter pack for Smite because of the new battle pass that started, which has the avatar characters Aang, Korra, and Zuko. So I started playing Smite a little bit. I dabbled in it, and Dylan and I dabbled in it, and we're like, you know what? This kind of hits that PvE itch.
Well, it's PvE. I mean, we
played a PvE
against bots.
Yeah,
but it's still pretty fun against people. I'm actually a semi-Smite veteran. I played it pretty regularly, like a bunch of years ago, like probably 3 or 4 years ago. It's still a fun game.
Yeah.
I do actually like that game a lot. It's just hard to get back into it really because there's so many different like characters and so many different moves and just like remembering everything. I was like, oh man. I enjoy it though. I do like that game a lot.
Yeah. So I did that.
10 minutes that I played Smite, I'll just say, it's the least I've ever hated a MOBA.
It's the third person view. It really does it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes it much more fun, at least for me also. And I played an okay amount of Heroes of the Storm because it's free.
Okay. Well,
right.
Yeah.
I was worried you were going to say League of Legends for a moment, so
Heroes of the
we're
Storm.
okay.
Yeah.
Aren't all MOBAs sort of free? All
know.
The big ones.
It was on my
League is
BNet
free,
launcher.
Dota's
so,
free. Yeah.
So, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I played some Gears 5 since they came out with a new update. It is a fantastic update, by the way. They redid the whole entire store. Essentially, all the skins are now purchasable through in-game currency that you earn. And cool horde changes. So there's some just cool stuff they did. I really enjoyed it. They have a new mode called the Horde Frenzy, which is just 12 rounds with a boss every 4 levels. which is great. It's great for a quick horde game. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And then the last one is Rocket League. I played a little bit with Aiden. That game is fun. It's a cool wind down game, but still tense.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I've got that downloaded now, I think, so we'll probably give it a shot together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at that at all. I know I'm terrible.
I'm awful. It was hot garbage, but I still enjoyed myself. Because I don't take it seriously, right? Like, it's just kind of like a fuck around game, so you're just like, if I'm garbage, I'm garbage. If I'm not, I'm not. But I could definitely see how people take it serious, like, because there's definitely a learning curve, right? It's like easy to get into, but then really hard to master kind of curve.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Now let's get to good old Aiden.
Aiden's on the
one
big
who's
stuff.
Playing like the new big things.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Last of Us. Tried beating it before Ghost of Tsushima came out. It did not happen. I feel like every time I play that game, I walk away being like, this is an impeccably crafted game that is so stressful and just hits you right in the feels every time that I can't do too much. It's been out for long enough, so I'll say a spoiler. Last thing I did basically was beat someone to death with a metal pipe as Ellie.
Yeah, I hear it's
not
brutal.
Super tight to watch, but just kind of had to stop playing after that one.
Too brutal for you, huh?
Yeah, it's really good. Amazing game all around, but Jesus Christ, it is rough to play.
Sweet.
All right. And the new one, which I'll keep spoiler free since it's brand new, Ghost of Tsushima, fantastic. It's basically everything I want out of an open world game. Just exploring's fun. They just ditched the minimap that every other open world game does, so it actually feels a little more immersive, a little more fun, just following the wind everywhere. Also, the customization in that game, super tight.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks great too.
It's exactly what you want for a open world game.
The combat,
you can
even
dye every piece of armor. Combat's super fun. Like, it's kind of the thing, like, you can level up and make yourself OP. From what I can see, like, if you just never bought any techniques or anything, you could still easily get through the entire game just because it's never unfair.
It's wonderful.
All in all, it's honestly a fantastic game to end the generation on.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy that before it even goes on sale. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Tight.
I watched a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
I've been thinking about, and this kind of goes on later, but like maybe I'll grab a PS5 first since I don't really need to grab the next Series X yet. I don't know.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I know.
Yeah.
It's tempting. There's a lot of cool games.
I'm gonna get both of them eventually.
Yeah.
I'm still probably gonna go Xbox first, just because that's
Primary
where
console.
I've got most of my stuff. Yeah, and plus GamePass. I've never got a PlayStation account.
Yeah, you haven't gone online with it, right?
I only logged online so I could play DVD or Blu-rays on it, because you have to be connected to the internet for that for some reason. Or maybe you needed to update it. I don't remember what the reasoning was, but I have gone online.
It's probably an update thing. I learned that Xbox does the same thing when I didn't have internet for like 5 days, and I bought Blu-rays and then couldn't play them.
Rest in peace.
Did you guys
still angry about it?
Play any COD this week besides yesterday?
No, but we should actually talk about that, because that whatever that mode is, that small map for 4-player free-for-all with gun game, all or nothing, and what's the other one? I don't remember.
One in the chamber.
Sticks and Stones.
One in the chamber.
Oh.
Yeah, I wish.
I don't know why I was thinking that.
Because that's the one you want in it.
Yeah.
And it's not there.
I mean, you know what? We could set up our own Sticks and Stones later.
We technically could, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
just make
I don't
classes.
know. I haven't looked at the rule sets. It's fantastic.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's actually the most fun I think I've had on that COD in a long time. Of course, a lot of my recent COD gaming has been the Damascus Chase.
Which you did.
Which, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but I did complete that. And then immediately after, I was like, I'm not playing this anymore. We didn't play like at all.
Yeah.
But that mode actually is like a lot of fun. So I highly recommend you check it out before you take it away.
Yeah.
Although we've been playing just custom games like of that sort of, which has been good since it wouldn't let us join with 3 people in the FFA thing.
Yeah,
Makes
it's
sense.
such a terrible shame that there's no just like
Yeah.
it just sucks that you can't do more than 2 people in that mode.
Yeah. I
Just
mean, I guess
lame.
they just don't want you to like boost, but that's not really a
A
boosting
boost mode. Yeah.
mode. Yeah, but you could theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
It's not impossible. It's
No,
just
I just want to
not
play with
worth
my
the time.
friends and shit on them. That's all I want to do. Game.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't do very much of the shitting on your friends.
No, I don't. You're right.
But it's great. That was a lot of fun. So check that out
Yeah.
before it's gone.
Yeah, and we're still playing
Sick.
Dig Dug. I think
yeah.
we're starting to hit more of a skill ceiling. We lost a lot last time we played.
We've died more or failed more this week than the rest of our time combined.
Yeah.
I think we only like failed like once or twice before, and we did like 3 fails this week alone.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because we jump off of stuff more than we should.
A lot of fall damage.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think it's a lot of fall damage and a lot of we just separate ourselves a lot, like go solo, and in that mode, the waves are just so large.
Yeah. My favorite fail of the week on our end was when I got sucked up by the roof sucker or whatever they're called. And I told you guys, I was like, I need help. I'm grabbed by one of these things that you can't escape. It drops me. I don't remember which one of you it was, but runs up, tries to revive me, grabs you up.
Yep.
And then the third one was like, oh, I'll come help you. And then whoop, grabs you up. And then we had a random who tried to save us. And what do you know? Whoop, grabs you up. So we failed by one guy. That was great.
The one broken thing
fun.
about that game. That's
Yeah.
like the biggest issue I have with that game is that one enemy type.
Yeah, it's not impossible as long as you're close together and like clearly communicating. But we just really failed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wild that one part is more difficult in multiplayer than single.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's keep this puppy rolling.
All right, let's get into some news. Let's talk about some Nintendo news. Paper Mario Origami King released on the 17th. It's actually getting really good reviews, 81 on Metacritic out of 54 critic reviews. I do have an issue with like critic reviews associated to Nintendo games. I feel like they overpraise Nintendo games.
Yeah, I'm pretty cautious on those. Like, I think the last Pokemon games got like great reviews generally, and I like really didn't enjoy that game. I mean, sometimes they're right, like Breath of the Wild, but that game is just actually great, you know.
I'm learning with the Pokemon thing. It's mostly people are fine that it's the same old thing.
Yeah.
It's not the same old thing though, because if it was closer to some of the old games, then I think it would have been better. I think they mess up a lot of stuff with some of the changes that they do in Pokemon's regards. I don't know about this game though.
Yeah.
I do know somebody who bought it, so I will give you guys secondhand impressions.
Yeah.
Soon.
I'm interested. I'm just not interested in paying full price for it.
Well, you're going to if you're going to get it.
No.
It's Nintendo.
This game will be one of the titles that go down to $40, like the Yoshi
In
games
3 years.
and all that stuff. No, they do in like 6 months.
Okay.
Like Yoshi Crafted World was like $40 like 3 months later or something on sale.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't really pay attention.
Unless it's like the staple Mario game or the like Smash, right? Those titles won't get discounted that much, but like Mario Tennis gets discounted and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
we shall see.
The shittier ones,
Yeah.
B tier.
Yeah, the B tier. That's a good way to say it. But I think what's interesting about this game, this is essentially the last major title this year
That we know of. I mean, this was announced 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
right? So we could still be seeing something
Like what?
coming out later. Isn't there like a big rumor that they're going to be doing a lot of Mario re-releases, which isn't a new game, but
I meant
like if they
major
do
title.
64
Because
Something.
they have a bunch of remasters coming out. They have
Yeah.
not Mario remasters, but they have like remasters in general coming out. And they have a lot of indie titles, of course, since it's like an indie machine.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about like fresh, new
brand new
titles.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing announced that I can think of.
Like
I could see another. We announce it at some direct within like a month, and then it's going to be out around November or something like that.
like an
I could see it.
which franchise do you think would have like an A tier release if we had to like put them in like the tiers? Like A tier is kind of like A and B tier is kind of the titles that we're looking at. Definitely not Metroid
Yeah.
Prime because they told us
No.
they are scrapping that and they're starting over.
Yeah, not
Breath of
that.
the Wild 2's not happening
No, that's all the.
anytime soon.
No new Smash other than Smash updates.
Yeah, I don't know what it could be.
They just did Luigi's Mansion,
Wouldn't-
so
Yeah. But
If they just brought back like Wind Waker HD again, that'd be tight.
yeah, but that's
It's
not
not
a
Yeah,
new.
but
new
I've already
title.
done it,
Yeah.
but it's enough for me. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Like they have to have a holiday game, right? Do they have to? I mean, technically they don't have to, but it's
I feel
They'll have
like
something. I
the
feel like.
pandemic really threw a wrench in the gears of Nintendo because it already seemed like it was going to be a light year for them, and now it's looking
Extra
pretty
light.
dry.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll surprise me, but I'm going in with no expectations.
I mean, you'll have some small Pokemon titles, right? I think Snap, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
But that's not
I
a
think
major.
that's actually. People are very excited about that. That's what 20 plus years in the making.
oh, those people are going to be disappointed.
They weren't disappointed with Sword and Shield.
That's actually a fair
Yeah.
point. I feel like Pokemon Snap, I've played it within the past like 6-7 years a little bit. It
Yeah,
seems
but
tight
that's-
as a little kid, and then you play it again, and it's just not.
I mean, to me, that's a
Agreed.
C tier game. That's not.
It's
I
barely.
would say a lot of people consider it
B.
higher up, B or A,
Yeah.
just because it's gonna be the second one, and who knows? Like this, they may actually make a better game. I
Yeah.
mean,
make an
you would
actual
really hope.
full-on game.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's just weird to see such a drought, like, because I don't know. I can't think of any big titles that are going to come out or franchises that have potential to release something anytime soon. Like when
Yeah.
we go through the franchise list, like,
Hmm.
I don't see anything.
I feel like my
I mean,
dream is maybe Platinum Games or someone is working on some Nintendo exclusive thing. That'd be
Oh, aren't
tight.
they doing Bayonetta 3?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Platinum Games is big. Do Astral Train 2 also. Why not?
To do
I never
Earthbound,
actually beat that. I
the
did
new
like that
Earthbound
game. I should
I
play
took
Astral
too
Train
long
again.
of a break and then came
Yeah.
back into it and did not remember how to play it well.
Yeah,
Tight
that's
game
that's
though.
where I
Super
am.
fun
now.
combat.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Well, we'll see. I still think that there might be something up the sleeve, but I think that Pokemon Snap is going to be bigger than you expect.
I will say Nintendo's not having issues selling consoles still.
Yeah.
That's.
Nope.
I mean, they're not in a position where like we need to push out titles because their sales, especially with COVID, like is
Nintendo's gonna be fine.
best it's ever been.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, right? Or still peaking.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Still doing very good. Yeah.
selling out in places. in physical
Nintendo's like
locations.
Apple, where if they do shitty, they still have billions and billions in the bank. Like they could probably survive multiple generations of losses and still be fine.
You think they're going to do a pro console next week or next year?
Mm,
Probably
we'll see.
sometime soon, at least. I mean,
It's a COVID thing.
they sold all these consoles. Make
Yeah.
all those people buy new ones again. Why not?
I mean, I would get a pro console for sure,
Yeah,
100%. But
me too.
yeah,
Probably.
I'd do it eventually.
let's get into this next one. This is the last Switch game we're going to talk about. It's Crysis Remastered. We were talking about how like we thought it was going to, like, how's it going to run, right? So they put out a tech trailer, and it looks actually pretty good. Like, I'm actually surprised with the engine and how they could pull it off.
This really is the wildest timeline.
Right? It's so bizarre.
Yeah, it's cool that they got it running well, but still,
Yeah, I mean, if
not interested.
If you haven't played it before, it's weirdly like actually kind of a good game, or at least fun to play. Not
Yeah.
great,
Yeah,
but also like this is one of those ones like you can play it handheld. Don't do it.
probably
Don't do
want
it,
to,
yeah.
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 So I have a feeling this is going to be running at like 540p handheld.
Yeah. Either that or it's gonna take away a lot of the things that actually make it Crysis.
Yeah, just interesting. They were able to pull off this, at least this much. I was surprised more than anything else with some of the tech stuff they're able to get away with.
At least surprised they put the effort into it still.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
A lot of work that just, I don't think anybody was ever asking for this.
No.
I don't think any like person that's been gaming as long as we have asked for this.
I don't think anybody who's been gaming less than we have has asked for this.
I don't know. Well, they don't know about it. I mean, when was
Yeah.
Crysis 3? So, a minute ago.
2012, 2013 or something.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Not
So-
a bad game, too. I
mean,
liked it.
I probably would have liked them to do a new Crysis game.
Yeah, that's not going to run on the Switch, though.
No.
No.
They probably have to make this so they can have the budget to make a new Crysis game. They're like, we need some extra money. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And how much work is it going to be to get this on the Switch? And will that be the seed money for the next of the series, right?
Hopefully, because honestly, CryEngine doesn't necessarily make the most fun games, but makes beautiful ones. All right,
All right. Just keep it.
moving on.
Yeah. Slide on down. I did not put this on here. What is this? Who did this?
I'll give you one guess.
Probably Faulkner. Tell us about it. Are you muted? Did you mute yourself?
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
Are you? Yeah. Oh man.
okay, I'll give the quick explanation. Imagine
Can you hear me?
Smash, but
There
with
you go.
just popularity in characters.
Yeah. I had never heard of this, but I do like some of the characters in this, so it's kind of interesting. I guess.
I like some of them, and I haven't heard of about half of them.
A bunch of them. Yeah. I probably watch a little bit of this, but I don't think I'm gonna get this.
No,
I'm not a big Smash guy myself.
I'm definitely not going to get this either. but
But-
it's cool to see all these
Yeah.
like developers coalescing and like, hey, yeah, let's give you our property to make a fighter game.
Yeah.
I hope it's good, because it reminds me of Brawlhalla, another
Yeah.
one of those free-to-play. I don't know if this is free-to-play. I assume not, but
Probably not.
just not a great Smash clone. It's
I
Smash
mean-
for people who just have PCs and nothing else and don't have the money to buy anything.
Yeah, if you're gonna play one of these games, just play Smash. Right?
yeah, but then you're like, fuck Nintendo. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, if they add Shovel Knight and Hollow Knight,
Yeah, it's interesting that they're not
Yeah,
in there,
I
but
mean,
maybe
it's-
they're too big.
Yeah, I want it to be a good game, because
Sure.
PlayStation All-Stars, not good.
No,
I never played it, so I don't know.
I played it with
Just not
with Aiden once.
worth talking about, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just it's
so bad, huh?
disappointing.
You're so defeated about it.
It just took the fun parts of the game and just said those don't matter anymore. But here you can be Nathan Drake.
Hey, some people want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool.
Hey, that's a movie. It's getting it like they finally got a director for that movie. This is their 7th director.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
They
what
actually
do you mean
started
finally
shooting.
got one? Haven't they had like a bunch already?
Yeah. It's like their 7th director.
Gone with extremely low thoughts on that or feelings on that.
So the director, I don't know
I'll
if you know
see
who
it
the
no matter
director
what.
is. It's the guy who directed Zombieland.
Yep. So
Okay.
he's had one big hit.
Yeah. He did
And some
another movie, and I
misses.
don't remember it being that good. I don't remember what the other movie was.
No, there's a reason that we call him the Zombieland director.
Yeah.
I don't know what's his other movie. Can you tell off the top of your head?
I can't think of the
I'm
other
gonna
movie.
find out right now.
Which I don't know if that movie was like successful because of the director or is it successful because of the cast, right?
Probably more so the cast.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Not necessarily the director.
Yeah.
Like all they had to do is like hire a competent director with that cast and they'll be fine.
Yeah,
Did he
'cause
make
the
the
movie
new
itself,
one?
like I love it, but it's not the best thing ever.
I've never seen the sequel.
I did not see the
It's-
sequel either.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
not great. It's fun though.
Ruben Fleischer.
Yeah.
What do you do? What else has he done?
Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory. There you go.
There it is. We're gonna be fine, boys.
Yeah.
All right. Poor Nathan
Robin
Drake.
Big. Weird. Oh, this is
Tom
that's
Holland's
where
playing
it-
Nathan Drake too, which casting
Oh,
wise
yeah, he's-
doesn't seem to add up.
It's just
Seems like a weird
He's
casting.
brilliant.
Well, he
Just
did
have
that.
an old Nathan Drake.
They
Yeah, he
didn't
did
they
the
do
short,
that
and it was
short
great.
film? Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect.
The only other like big movie that he did that I think we would all recognize is Venom.
Oh
And
yeah.
Zombieland Double Tap.
He did do the sequel. I didn't know he did the sequel.
I think so. If I'm
He
reading
did
this
a
right.
music video for MIA once, apparently.
Wow. Not gonna lie, I actually kind of enjoyed Venom.
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah.
But here's an important one that we should definitely talk about. In 2007, he made a short called Masturbation. So this is gonna be a good movie.
This guy has got some highbrow chops.
Yeah.
All right, let's get
Okay.
into Xbox news. We have a lot of. So this upcoming week is a really big week. It's a really big deal
Yeah.
for all of us, not as just fans of Xbox, but also fans of certain IPs, and kind of sets the tone for the upcoming generation, console generation, and the
We'll
new.
see if it sets the tone. But
Let's.
I agree.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's people saying like this will make or break Xbox. I don't think it will make or break it, but I do think it has a heavy
It
weight
could.
to it.
yeah, it's a very important moment for them.
Yeah. I do think because of the pandemic, it actually put them in a good position to like they've had time because this would have been announced all at E3 weeks ago, right? So it gives them extra time to like make sure like this event. It's a 1 hour event, so like all right, dotting all their I's, crossing their T's, kind of thing. And I found this Reddit post, and it was just like people be waiting for the 23rd, and it's just Master Chief sitting at a fast food joint.
Now, what fast food joint is that? It's McDonald's, right?
That's McDonald's. Got to be McDonald's.
Okay. Yeah.
So I included that image as part of our video. He's just sitting with us at the end of our. But
That
yeah,
is how I feel though. Been
But-
waiting for this for a while.
yeah, they had one Halo release this generation. It's crazy.
Halo 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, showcase is July 23rd, 9 a.m. Also, during this week, we're going to be seeing demos, I think 60 plus demos or something like that, on the platform, mostly indie titles. The website the Xbox website showed a list of them, and of some of them, not all of them, but some of them, and they're all indie titles, from what I gathered. So
I mean, that's cool.
It's cool. Yeah, it's more than anyone's done so far, right?
Yeah.
So it's more than even the PC gaming has done. Like Steam could have done something like this, or Epic Games could have done something like this. But yeah, so we'll have access to a bunch of titles. A lot of them are like are not like true demos where the games are like complete or almost complete. A lot of them are even alpha, beta type stages. So, but yeah, so July 23rd, 9 a.m., 8 a.m., they're going to have a pre-show. But yeah, man, I think it's exciting times. I think this is kind of like the culmination of what we've all been waiting for. I think we're all super excited for this event. Most of us would be even okay with all Halo event if they did that. Right?
Actually might make it better.
It's the most important part.
Yeah.
You give
like,
us just an hour straight of Halo.
They've confirmed that they will be showcasing the campaign. Personally, I think they should showcase the different modes, all of them. Campaign, Arena, the Warzone, Forge. Just so everyone sees what's going on.
That would be the best, but as long as they say that everything will be in there, then that's pretty much all you need, right?
Yeah. Best case scenario, Arena is free to play like a beta. That week also.
I don't think it will be that week, but I'm pretty certain there will be one.
Yeah.
Although if that is one of the demos where they just shadow drop, oh, by the way, you can download this demo now. That would be insane.
You get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
call out of work every day.
Yeah, they'll probably like over the weekend play multiplayer. Let us know how it is. Tell us if you love it. Tell us if you hate it. And then that's it, right? And I think that would be a way to end the event. That would be the final end of the event. Like, all right, here's a clip of multiplayer. And then, by the way, like you're saying, download it now.
What if they end the event by revealing that Keanu Reeves is actually Master Chief? Just steal a little cyberpunk thunder.
Dude, you know what? People would be giving props to that. They would be like, I mean, the voice wouldn't match at all, but...
yeah. He would just be the face.
Yeah. People would be like, all right. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there's multiple ways they could do this event. They could like, all right, we have 15 developers. Here's what all of us are doing.
Yeah.
Is one thing.
I mean, probably shouldn't speculate on it too much now. We should just wait for it to happen. And then I'm very positive that next week's podcast will be probably 2 hours long of us just going over literally everything that happens.
Who knows? We'll see. They said they're only talking about games, not the services, none of that stuff.
That's a good idea.
You're going to hear Game Pass a lot. You know?
I'm sure you'll definitely... Yeah. It'll be day one Game Pass. There'll be blah, blah, blah Game Pass. But we do have some Game Pass news this week.
A lot. It was actually a very exciting week for Game Pass.
It's actually really good Game Pass week. Yeah. You're right. I will... before we get to that, I just want to say, like, in the article for the event, that's the showcase coming up, the big takeaway with this generation launch for them, they're kind of almost taking, like, inspiration essentially from PC gaming, right? Because PC gaming scales across hardware generations, and that's how it's always been. And they're kind of doing the same thing with their games, like, essentially, whatever game's coming out the next couple of years, that you can play them on both Xbox One and Series X, and they won't force you to upgrade at launch to play those exclusives. It's very pro-consumer.
Consumer, love to see it.
So let's get into like the gist of like Game Pass, like general updates, and then we'll get into the big news that dropped this week. Games that are coming on Game Pass, we have Forager, which I already mentioned earlier, Mountain Blade, both released on the 16th. Mountain Blade, I'm semi-interested. but
if you're into it, it's fantastic. It's just hard to get into it if you haven't played it before.
yeah, I would have wished they did Mountain Blade 2, since Mountain Blade 2 looks really dope and it's the new game, right? But it's cool. I mean, free games are free games, so big game for, I think all of us are interested in, is Carrion on the 23rd by Devolver.
Very exciting, but I'm still just going to buy it.
Yep. So pre-download it now.
Yeah. Golf with your friends on PC on the 23rd. It's fantastic.
If you have friends.
Yeah, if you got friends and you're only a PC player, I think it's worth it. I would love to see what the demographics look like for Game Pass Ultimate. Like, what are the primary? Is it console use or is it PC use? And see what the deviations are.
It's probably console use.
Yeah. There's 10 million people on Game Pass apparently.
That's a lot of people.
It is a lot. Grounded is on the 28th, which I'm sure we'll hear about during the showcase.
Yep.
Very excited.
Also, pre-download.
Pre-download is out. You're right. Another one is Nowhere Profit on the 30th. I'm not sure what that is, and I close the tab to tell me the instructions or the details on it.
Never know.
So we'll never know. And then we have The Tourist, also console PC, and Yakuza Kiwami 2 on the 30th. No idea what those are. Games that are already...
is apparently tight.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not my kind of game, but I've heard lots of pretty good things about it.
What is it?
It's a Yakuza game.
Oh, it's in the Yakuza world?
Yeah.
Franchise? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No interest then.
Yeah.
Games that did already come out: Endless Space 2 on PC, Halo 3 on PC, which apparently is doing really well and launched really well and looks fantastic on PC. And I guess I was reading people that created stuff in the Forge years ago is still accessible.
Oh, that's cool.
Halo 3 PC Forge.
That's tight.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So you have all this player-created content at the fingertips
Ready to
at
go.
launch. Dude,
Yeah.
that's sick.
That is cool.
And then Neon Abyss, of course, came out. I played a little bit of it. Also, I didn't add that. I forgot to add that to my thing. It does not run that well, optimization-wise. Like, there's definitely frame skips for a bullet hell roguelite, which is a little disappointing. I hope they patch it, because conceptually it looks like a lot of fun, and I think Aiden would actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's an Aiden game.
Download
for
it.
sure.
Haven't played it. But yeah, if
Download
it
on
doesn't
PC.
run super smoothly, that defeats the point of...
Well, it's a PC first,
bullet hell
so
game.
maybe the PC game is going to be better. So maybe you should download it on your PC.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I just feel like bullet hell games, well, those analog sticks.
It's true. Yeah, so those are the games. Games leaving, only 3. We have Ashes Cricket, Rim, and Banner Saga 3.
I've heard of those 3 before. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So, should we talk about some... Let's talk about a rumor, and then we'll get into some more juicy stuff that's not a rumor. The rumor is Xbox Live is going free. The initial rumor started because Microsoft removed the 12-month subscription for Xbox Live, and they said it was not a mistake. That is a thing. So the speculation is it will go free to remove the paywall for people to enter the Xbox ecosystems, which sounds pretty smart.
It's why I love PlayStations in the 360 PlayStation 3 generation.
Mm-hmm.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would give that money away. People are already willing to pay.
I think it's to get people to
swap over,
get on the console and not have to worry about that, and then go oh, what's this
xCloud
Game
being a
Pass?
thing too.
Yeah, this is Game Pass. Also, it allows them to put Xbox Live as a free application on multiple platforms, like multiple mobile devices, maybe even TVs and stuff like that, because there was that subscription, you get a free year of Game Pass for Samsung TVs. Yeah. So it's just like an entryway. It's the gateway drug to get people on the ecosystem and all right, here's Xbox Live, check it out. And then, hey, here's Game Pass. And then it gets people buying into Game Pass. which is already an amazing subscription for what you get. So it just opens the door, and it's Microsoft, so they can all right, whatever we lose from that, we can eat the initial costs for the long-term growth.
Yeah, I mean, that would obviously be great for gamers in general, but I have a hard time seeing that actually happening. But I've been wrong before many times in my life, so
Yeah,
I'd be totally fine with being wrong here.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be sick if you could get Xbox Live. It's free, so they put it on the Switch, and then we could actually have VoIP on the Switch.
You talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, who knows what they do? I mean, they've already done some partnerships on this with the Switch at this point.
I feel like the voice chat on Switch is not necessarily Nintendo just being stupid and not knowing how to do it, but Nintendo being stupid and being like, we don't want to hurt little babies' feelings, so we're just not going to let people talk at all.
Also, I don't want to talk to people, so I'm
which
generally fine with that. So.
But some games already have VoIP on there, right? Doesn't Fortnite have VoIP?
Fortnite has it built in, yeah. There's other ones too, I think.
Yeah, that's nothing like Nintendo-esque. Which, honestly, playing Smash and Mario Kart with friends, I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it.
Yeah. All right. What's the big news this week for Game Pass? Drum roll.
You want us to
Noise
say it, or you
suppression.
wanna say it?
Stop my drum roll.
Someone say, okay, I'll say it. Jesus.
Yeah, it's
terrible.
You're the one who's most excited. Yeah.
xCloud is coming to Game Pass in September for free. Game Pass Ultimate. Game Pass Ultimate, yeah. I am interested to see the demographics of people who have Game Pass compared to Game Pass Ultimate. But yeah, it's going to be free. So essentially, Phil Spencer, there's a bunch of stuff going on where Phil Spencer says, for launch, we're putting it on Ultimate for no additional costs. We think it's a good audience for us to start with, and it's an audience that already plays a lot of games.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I'm not going to be using it a lot since, as you know, current situation, we're not really moving around all that much.
Sure.
But I might play in my bed.
I think that's where I would see myself is I'm in the living room and it's a game like Forager and I just play on my cell phone while I'm watching TV or something where I don't need a big screen. I think that's wonderful.
Basically, turn your Xbox into a Switch.
Essentially. Which kind of makes me think going back, if Phil Spencer and Nintendo could work out a partnership where their Xbox Live and xCloud is on the Switch, essentially, because Game Pass has kind of turned into my free indie subscription for indie games, and then I can just play it on my indie device, which is a Switch, would be amazing. But that's more wishful thinking than probability.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
They've been friendly, but they don't want to get too friendly.
They went on to say, we want to bring xCloud eventually to every screen that someone can stream to. Right now, we're just saying mobile. There are discussions going on, and we're working through things. We'll talk more specifically about which mobile devices through August and the September launch. And that kind of goes back to, we're talking about the Samsung TVs. If you could have xCloud on the Samsung TV, kind of neat. Or even the Samsung tablets would be a good platform to put them on.
I mean, everything would be a good platform to put it on if you can.
True. And I'm sure that's the goal, right? Because their goal seems to get them into the Game Pass ecosystem specifically. And xCloud is just a way to get people on there. Because xCloud is not just streaming from your Xbox. xCloud, right, is just streaming from their servers. So let's say the cloud. So who knows what else they're going to do with it. It gives them a lot of flexibility. And xCloud won't be the final name, they said. That's just the project name.
It's going to be Xbox Anywhere, isn't it?
It'll be the Series Streaming Series X.
Uh,
I don't know.
xCloud 1.
It'll probably just be Game Pass streaming.
There it is.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's probably what it's going to be. Something lame like that. Phil
Cloud
Spencer went on to
360.
yeah. Phil Spencer went on to say that they want to use xCloud in a way of like a snackable trial experience. So he said essentially like you know how you share songs like with Spotify, like hey, check out this song, and then you click on it and you stream it and you listen to it. Same concept, like hey, check out this game, and you click on it and then you stream it and you try it out before you even download it.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be super awesome.
Yeah. So like Forager, I'm like, hey, check out Forager, and I send it to you, and then you just load it up on your phone real quick, and you like dabble with it.
Yeah, because that's one of the big barriers now. Like when I do look in, like Game Pass, and it's like there's all these games I could play, but I don't want to download it and maybe not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because that's like a long wait. So that would be super cool.
Yeah, that'd be neat. Like you start streaming it. I don't know. I think I like this, and then you hit a button in the like whatever screen, and then it starts downloading in the background while you keep playing it.
Yeah. That would be awesome. We'll see though.
We'll see.
That'd be tight.
Yeah.
But they're investing a lot into it, right? So I think they have a lot to lose if they don't pull it off well, like Stadia is doing when it comes to streaming. I think Stadia is not going to be around for long, based on unless they change their business
it's
tactics.
still around.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think they would have to change their business tactics entirely to keep up, because
it was basically dead on arrival.
yeah.
Yep.
Because GeForce Now is also GeForce is doing something that's way more consumer friendly. So
I don't know the details because I'm not going to use it.
yeah, but essentially, like you don't have to buy the game. Like it just uses whatever. Like if it's in your Steam library, I think there's some publishing like some games that aren't allowed because of like publishing stuff. But yeah, if you've already bought the game, you can just use our service to stream it. And I think the free version, you stream for an hour at a time for free. It's all free. Then after the hour, it says, essentially you exit, and then you enter back in, and then you just keep streaming. I think it's to keep the server bandwidth down or something like that. There's a paid version where you have like server priority and stuff, but it's already in a better direction than Stadia.
Yeah. That's not hard though.
No, it's not hard at all. It is complete garbage.
Yeah. Let's keep this train going.
Train chugging.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer had an interview with GameIndustry.biz. Essentially, they're talking about like their strategies and whatnot, and they asked them, "Are Series X developers being held back by Xbox One, the previous generation?" And Phil Spencer said, "Frankly, held back is a meme that gets created by people who are too caught up in device competition." So,
I mean, he's not wrong, but also
It's not 100% truthful.
yeah, so he went on to talk more about like how the PC world does gaming and how everyone can play the game based even though they're on older hardware generations, right? It doesn't hold the developer back necessarily, right? I could have a graphics card, a 960 graphics card, and still play games that people on like a 2080 has. I'll be playing them at different fidelities, but it doesn't restrict me from playing that game.
But at a certain point,
yeah,
it's not going to be worth doing that if they want to, like Crysis, for example.
Yeah, but I mean, a 960 is a 3-generation old hardware, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's saying. Like it's just the next generation. This shouldn't be what's stopping us from. It shouldn't stop developers from holding back, right? They just create a game that has more flexible, I guess, graphical settings compared to what console gaming is used to.
I guess what just worries me, also I'm just a slut for new games on consoles and
Mhm.
just seeing those like first generation and just the big steps beyond.
Yeah.
But thinking back to 360 to the Xbox One, like GTA 5 on the original 360, they got it on there. It was god awful and was very obviously held back because it was on the previous generation.
Sure. Do you think we'll have that big of a leap since technically in this
No.
console generation we actually had like a mid-generation hardware update?
No, that was a shitty analogy for that reason, but just in the back of my mind, I think
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
and just get a little worried. Like, I would rather play the best version possible,
Sure.
basically.
And I mean that's what he did say in the interview is like if you want the best experience, of course it's going to be on the Series X, right?
Yeah.
You'll just probably get if you were on especially like the OG Xbox One, you're probably getting a severely toned down like 720p even version of the game. I mean, look at Red Dead 2, and if you look at like the graphical comparisons of the OG Xbox to the Series One X to even the PS4 Pro and stuff, like you see distinct differences in frame rate and texture quality and resolution between the four different models. And I think you'll just see more of that in a much more severe case.
I guess I mostly just want people to realize that's a thing rather than thinking just because I can play the game on my console, it should be fine and function perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not the reality of how things work.
No, I agree with that 100%. I mean, I mean, you've played PC games. I play PC games, right? Like playing a modern game on a graphics card that's 3 generations old you're not going to get the same experience, like performance experience, right? So
just remember to blame your own hardware, not the game developers.
Not the developers.
Usually, at least.
Yeah.
I blame whoever I want.
And I think that maybe that's what Phil Spencer's getting at. It's like we're not really. It's not the developers are going to have an issue, right? The developers aren't being held back. They're going to make it for the best of the hardware that's available. It's the people that haven't decided to upgrade are probably just going to have graphical differences.
Mm-hmm.
So,
bringing it back to that thing you said earlier about possibly getting the PS5 first, that makes me kind of want to jump on that boat too.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Well, so the Series X is going to be the best graphical representation of, let's say, Infinite as example, since we know that's going to be at launch. I think a part of it's going to be like a place like Digital Foundry to do an actual graphical comparison of the Series X and the One X and go, this is what you're getting by upgrading to next gen compared to a One X, since we're all on One X's anyways. So what is the return on investment essentially for that leap? And if that leap isn't large enough, maybe getting a PS5 is a better play. Because I know I'm getting these games anyways. I'm not being limited, which is a very pro-consumer thing, right? It's great as a consumer because it doesn't force you jumping into the next more expensive generation.
Isn't the most exciting thing about these new consoles the load times?
Yeah, I was talking to Aiden about a lot of the like deep nerdy tech stuff, and it like some of the stuff Xbox is doing with the hardware is pretty impressive. So I think that would be the trade-off, right? Like, also, you're right. That's something to consider.
So, I feel like you're making a joke, but just as a thing before you got here, I was talking about how amazed I am about the load times in Last of Us 2.
Yeah. Can you imagine that faster then?
Yeah. What if it was faster?
So what I told Faulkner is that they had to artificially make them seem slower just so people had time to read the loading screen tips.
Really?
So, yeah.
What if you didn't need loading screen tips at all?
Sucks to suck. Most people are dumb, so you're going to get them.
What is an acceptable loading time? Like, what are you okay with? Like, time-wise? 30 seconds? 15 seconds?
I mean, honestly,
game.
yeah, it depends on the game, and loading screens don't bother me that much since, like, second screen, I've got my iPad playing something, or I've got my phone, check Reddit between. It doesn't really matter.
I guess you're right. It doesn't matter as much now because of things how accessible things are now.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Like Destiny
But now it's like,
has really bad loading times.
Destiny's
Notorious.
Yeah, but even then, like, I had my phone. I was like, all right, well, this is kind of a good thing because now I can respond to whatever texts I've gotten since I've been ignoring them for the last, entire level that I've been playing.
Interesting. Yeah. It's kind of weird, like, how different it is because, like, 2 years ago, we would be saying something different, I think.
I mean, faster is always better. You can always pause a game, or not always pause a game, depending on what game you're playing.
Type of game, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not overly concerned about it, but obviously faster is better.
Yeah. Faster is always better.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know how this generation is going to pan out. Like, I think a big part of it for me is PlayStation has a lot of games I haven't played, so, like, it's just a whole new library of games I could be playing. And I'm not forced into the next generation on Xbox because I'm on GamePass and they're developing games that are cross-generational, so it's like incentivizing me to not almost buy the next console in a way.
Yeah, I see what you're...
See the option at least.
It's the option, right? Like, I'll probably still do it. Like, Dylan was telling me earlier, like, I'm probably going to buy both eventually.
Honestly, whichever one I, am able to get first, I'm just going to get that one. And then probably play that for however long until I've decided that I want to get the other one and I'm able to. Because, it's a new console. It's going to be tough to get.
Yeah.
As it always is.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing with the PlayStation is I will only play it for the exclusives. I think all other games will be on the Xbox. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair, but the exclusives are God tier.
Yeah. I'm not saying... Yeah, exactly. Like, they're worth playing. But when it comes to multi-platform games, the Series X might be the better platform, right?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, especially. I mean, we'll see with the next generation's or controllers once I actually get a hold of them, but I've always preferred the Xbox One, so I always get the multi-plats on that.
I just don't like the thumbstick placements on the...
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way.
PlayStation.
I definitely think the Xbox controller is is prime.
Yeah, I don't even have an issue with that. It's just it doesn't really fit in my hand.
Yeah.
I don't hold the controller, the PlayStation controller enough, because I don't play it as much as Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
it just doesn't fit snugly like the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like the Xbox feels like it was designed for regular hands.
Yeah.
The triggers on the PlayStation are a little... I don't like them as much either. Like R2 and L2. I don't actually... Is it R2, L2? The
R1, L2, or R1, R2, L1, L2. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Whatever they call them.
Whatever they call it, yeah.
Supposedly, triggers on the next DualShock are super sick, though, so that might change.
What makes it sick, though? I know they did a video about the DualShock controllers.
So they put a lot of haptic feedback into them, so you can kind of get that feeling like you're actually pressing into something.
I hate that stuff. I turned it all off.
Love it.
Like, I turned vibration off on my controller.
On almost every game, I turn vibration off.
Yeah. I don't like that stuff at all.
I'm a sucker for it. Like, playing with the Switch with the HD Rumble and playing, like, those 1-2 Switch games where it's just like, how many marbles are in here? I will endlessly love that.
There are some good Switch games that use Rumble.
Yeah. But I mean, like, most Rumble, hot garbage. I'll agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've played some games on the Xbox that have it because technically the Xbox has, like, haptic triggers. And I think it was a racing. I think it was Forza. You can feel, like, when you brake and then when you accelerate, you can feel it in the triggers.
Yeah.
I still turn them off. I'm like, this is annoying.
Version for me.
Yeah, it's like annoying.
Um,
but
I
Anyways.
don't have anything more to rant about with controllers, but
Yeah.
we can do
Let's
this again
save
next
it
week,
until
and I'll make a
we
list.
know more about what's going on.
All right.
You want to touch on this last little thing you got in here?
We can. It's
I'm
a game that
honestly-
we're not like super excited because the gameplay has been looking a little lackluster. But Marvel Avengers is starting a beta August 7th for PS4 pre-orders, and then open beta for everyone the 21st. I'll probably jump on that open beta because it's free. But
I probably won't.
that
I will
game
not.
needs a beta.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't really know what it's about. I
it
mean,
needs-
obviously it's about the Avengers, but
Yeah.
I'm not excited for this at all.
It's
Yeah.
essentially a modern take of that other Avengers game from years ago.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
No. The action RPG.
Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance. Right? It's like a modern take on it, like a high budget version of it. But to be
Which-
honest, I just wanted Ultimate Alliance. I'm sad it's only
Yeah.
on Switch. Because Switch limps
Not that great,
gimps it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know what you think when. I mean, I'm certain we'll talk about it once it happens.
Yeah,
But I am not excited. Not a game that I was really asking for.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
and
for me,
also-
it was something I was asking for because I love Ultimate Alliance 1. I love
Yeah.
Ultimate Alliance 2. So I really wanted like an fully updated, modern version of Ultimate Alliance, which this game is supposedly supposed to be. Essentially,
It just doesn't look like that
just
from what I've seen.
doesn't look
Yeah.
great. Animations look clunky. Gameplay looks clunky.
Also,
It's
why
just
do you
wild.
release this after all the movies come out? Right?
It's Crystal Dynamics is a developer, so that's why.
Who?
Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a SquareSoft developer.
I'm just gonna say who
Squaresoft,
again.
Square
is
Enix.
disrespect.
Square Enix. Didn't they do
Anyways.
Tomb Raider?
I don't know, man. It sounds.
Oh, if they did
sounds
Tomb Raider
sort
and this
of
is their
familiar.
next one, you gotta feel for them because it's been a downward spiral. Then, yeah. Tomb Raider 1 and 2. Well, not 1 and 2, but the reboots.
Those, yeah.
Yeah,
Those
the
recent
reboots
ones.
of the series. Yeah. So they did those,
Those
which
are
were great.
kind of fun. Yeah.
They're great. I loved them. I actually 100%ed the first one. I got it.
Oh,
I beat the
Everything.
first
What
one.
Yeah.
I didn't. beat
Passion
the second
projects
one.
look like.
Um,
This is what it looks like when they're told to make a game. It seems like.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when they come from like how they revitalized essentially the Tomb Raider franchise, and made a movie game essentially, and then they came out with this, it's like we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's close this with a fun question. Which Avenger would you be? I already know Faulkner is the incredibly tiny Hulk. One of my favorite all time Faulkner jokes. Aiden, who would you be?
You son of a bitch.
I feel like I don't know the heroes well enough. So for some reason, Ant-Man was the joke I was gonna make about Faulkner. So I'm just gonna
Goddamn.
ride with that one now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hide his sons of bitches.
No, he can't be Ant-Man because Ant-Man can get big too.
Yeah, he can become giant.
Yeah. I would be the bow and arrow guy.
Hawkeye? Really? You're not that cool.
I've shot a bow and arrow though.
Yeah, I mean, that's not asking for much.
I mean, not everybody's done that. In this day and age,
I've shot a bow and arrow.
Aiden?
I've done a lot. We did it at camp for that one time in Sacramento or wherever that was.
That's 3 out of 3.
Camp
I had a friend
Sacramento?
in high school who had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a massive bruise like right on my forearm once because he had a big bow that I was not necessarily strong enough to use, and it just slapped right into it.
Yeah.
Speaking
Just
of injuries with projectiles, do you remember when you threw a dart at me? Went into my shin?
No recollection.
Right into the bone?
Right? No, not into the bone, on the right side of the bone.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
It's brotherly
well,
love. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like me.
It's probably because I beat you up like right after it,
After it,
and that's the part you remember.
the merciless beating.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
All right, boys.
that's all I got.
That is it for this week. We will come back next week with all the things. I hope
Yes.
this showcase is as great as we want it to be. It's only I just hope good things. Like
Imagine it was just an hour straight of Forza.
I'd be so mad. I have no doubts Forza will be debuted, to be honest. I think you'll see Forza because they have to have a racing game for some industry reason. Every new console generation needs to have a racing game.
I can't.
Well, they
explain
have.
it. They look nice.
Yeah,
What's
it's
it
always
called?
it's a graphical
Simulator?
showcase.
Yeah, we just answered the question, so
They look
moving
good.
past it.
But yeah, I hope wonderful things. I hope all these different developers they've purchased come out with amazing content. I know xCloud's going to be releasing Wasteland 3, and they've already started working on their new IP with the Unreal 5 engine. They haven't stated it. It's still quiet. But it's going to be on Unreal 5, which is also exciting because we saw the graphical showcase of that. I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to be a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, it's going to be... I have a feeling we're gonna be disappointed. Like, just to be... I don't know.
Oh, I'm not going to be disappointed. I have no expectations.
I
I'll be
expect
fine.
nothing. Yeah. All I expect is you show me Master Chief grabbing a gun out of the sand, and I'm happy. That's literally it. Yeah.
He like grabs a BR and dusts it off, and like, it's time to finish this fight.
Yeah, I'm happy. That's it. That's all I need.
All you see is a grunt running away. Ah, it's the demon.
Yeah.
Not a bad impression, really.
He
All right.
fits the size.
Yeah, it does fit the size, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? What if in multiplayer you can actually be a grunt, and that's like one of the modes? It's Spartan versus grunts, and it's one Spartan and everyone else are grunts, and you got to kill.
Like the Juggernaut.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Verbalized what I wanted for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just want to play as the other aliens.
Yeah, that would be neat. Apparently, Arbiter is going to have a stronger role in the campaign.
Shuts out.
So.
I like Arbiter.
That's the alien, Dylan.
Yeah.
I know who it is. Yeah.
I know who it is. The guy who didn't finish the Halo 5 campaign or play the Halo 5
Did not
campaign.
start the Halo 5 campaign.
Yeah.
Is he in that one? He's not in that one.
He has he's in it, but
Yeah,
you
might
don't
be.
play him.
Yeah.
Spoilers. All right, guys.
Okay.
Let's call it.
Byes.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Byes.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody say your bye-byes to the guys.
All right, bye.
Bye. I mean, probably still going to talk to you.